What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to National Wrestling Alliance Review, the show from February 11th, 2020. And this will be your NWA Powerrr results that took place obviously in Atlanta, Georgia, at the GPB Studios. Your commentators were Joe Galli and Stu Bennett. Your ring announcer was Alex Marvez. Hold on a second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. And by the way, I screwed up. By the way, not Alex Marvez. I meant to say, Dave Mark. You know, how you say his last name again? You know, he's not only just a ring announcer, but he's also the interviewer as well. Dave Marquez. Yeah, sorry about the noise, by the way, folks. Jeez, how I forgot his last name already. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here about Dave Marquez. Yeah, Dave Marquez. There you go. Oh, sorry about that, folks. But anyways, yeah, let's enough of that. Let's get right into the show here. Let's see. Oh yeah, the opening to start the show was Eli Drake and James Storm. They were on commentary along with Joe Galli and Stu Bennett as they watched this match as the Pope introduces the Dawsons to take on the Bouncers, led by Eddie Kingston. So the Bouncers feature Brian Malones and Beer City Bruiser, while the Dawsons features Zane and Dave. So the match happens, and it's been a pretty decent match, a decent tag team match for four big guys, in the match. In the end, it was the Bouncers getting the win. So the Pope, basically, Eddie Kingston got one up on the Pope. And then you see James Storm and Beer City Bruiser pouring beers into the Crockett Cup. And start drinking out of the Crockett Cup. Eli Drake goes to do it, but he option not to. He decides to drink water instead. And James Storm decided to chug the entire beer that was in the Crockett Cup. So there you go. We see a footage of Nick Aldis at Free Enterprise. I have yet to see the show, folks. I will find a time to try to watch it so I can review that one because it does tie into the story of for NWA Powerrr, where it pertains to Nick Aldis versus Marty Scurll. That's going to happen at Crockett's Cup. So there you go. Tom Latimer, he was and Camille were joined by Joe Galli at the interview desk. Basically, Latimer talks about the crowds that he looks forward to beating up on Tim Storm, and he promised that when it pertains to Royce Isaac, they will get the tag belts back because they're still wild cards and all that, and they want the belts back. Obviously, they want to be the tag team champions again. So Joe Galli was talking about let's see, basically asking the feelings about the tag champs of Eli Drake and James Storm, and he says that they're not a real tag team, and that's basically what's all about. And then Tim Storm comes out because we get Tom Latimer versus Tim Storm. Ends up being a pretty decent match with Tom Latimer winning the match with the Bright Side of Suffering, which is the elevated DDT move that he does, and he gets the win. And then after the match, you got Mama Storm impersonator once again, Danny Deals, and I skipped it. I think it's still stupid as they're still doing that, but it does lead to something. We'll get to that when I do the next review of it. Trevor Murdoch, he joins with Dave Marquez at the interview table. Says that Aaron Stevens is a coward running away, and he demands a rematch. That title deserves a fighting champion. The people deserve a fighting champion, and he wants to be the champion. So all of a sudden we get Steven, Aaron Stevens coming out with the question mark. I'm sorry, it was the question mark coming out there to confront Trevor Murdoch, I meant to say. And basically says, you, me, karate. And that'll lead to the next that'll basically lead to the next episode of NWA Powerrr. Sean Mooney, he gives a recap about the whole thing with Nick Aldis and Mari Skrull. Also gives us an update about the Crockett Cup, about where it's going to take place and everything. And he gives us an update about Trevor Murdoch will be on his podcast. And there you go. Yeah, so Sean Mooney was on the show giving up some updates about NWA, about what's planning on happening. So we see an advertisement of Nikita Koloff, which is him traveling everywhere and all that, and speak to the word of God. Because he's very religion. So we get to Matt Cross versus the NWA television champion Ricky Starks for the NWA championship, where it pertains to Ricky Starks doing the Lucky 7 thing. So we had a match. It's being a pretty decent match. Unfortunately, at the time ran out. It was a 6:05 time limit. All of a sudden, we get Ziggy Dice coming out and basically saying the match was boring, saying that he basically saying that the biggest difference between himself and Ricky Starks is that he finished every time, and I say to myself, okay, what was the point of this? I say to myself, like, I didn't understand this at all about Ricky Starks even being a factor in this. He lost to Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks should move on to someone else different now, but instead, Ziggy Dice is getting involved with this, and I seriously don't get why. So stupid, but that'll lead to the next episode of NWA Powerrr. Again, Marty Bell being an interview where it pertains to pertains to a whole thing with Molina, where she's why she basically explains why she's with Molina and everything, and that Allison Kay was not into her and everything and all that. So Allison Kay confronts her and all that, and basically trying to snap her out of it because Molina is brainwashing Marty Bell and everything. And yeah, basically they're having a back and forth and disagreement on everything. So not much to say about that. We get Molina versus Tasha Steelz. Molina looked decent. Basically, obviously Molina won the match. Because they're building up something with Molina, what tends to go after the NWA Women's World Championship. So yeah, but Tasha Steelz, she's she looked decent too, but other than that, Molina was the one dominating the match. So there you go. And Molina cuts a promo by saying that she proved herself every week and everything, and she's a living legend and all that. And she says, what more do I have to prove and everything? And she says to face Thunder Rosa for the title on the next episode of NWA Powerrr. And then Dave Marquez was saying who authorized that? And then Melina said, I did. It's sanctioned by her and everything, and that was it. So, and we'll get to that when we get to the next review of National Wrestling Alliance, where it pertains to the next edition of NWA Powerrr. Maybe at time. Nick Aldis and Royce Isaacs of the Strictly Business versus Ricky Morton and Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, excuse me, of the Rock and Roll Express. While you had Sal Reynoso and May Valentine out there watching along. Now, let me try to say his name again. Sal Naroso, not Nero. I'll try to learn it. Yeah, usually I always do. But they're out. But May Valentine, the girlfriend of Royce Isaacs, and her friend Sal was with him. He was with her. So the match happens. Decent match. Basically, obviously, a decent main event match. And in the end, it was strictly business. Basically, Royce Isaacs getting the win over, Robert Gibson, only because he cheated by having his foot on the ropes for pinfall leverage. After the match, May Valentine celebrates with Isaac and all that, and then Isaac is yelling at at Sal, but I'll just go by Sal for now. But speaking, well, actually, not speaking of, I didn't already get to talk about it yet. I gotta mention this because I think where it pertains to Sean Mooney talking about this, but basically giving us an update about this whole thing with Nick Aldis and Marius Girl. And I don't remember. Actually, now I think of it, I don't remember if there was an interview on where it pertains to Nick Aldis and Marius Girl, which is why I probably think it happened. Yeah, that's right. It was a recap of it from Free Enterprise that Sean Mooney did cover, by the way. So basically, let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. So he says, Sean Mooney gets noted that he says about what happened at Free Enterprise that if Nick Aldis can beat Marius Girl, he will write the checks $500,000. And this is Marius Girl saying, yeah, and basically he's saying Sean Mooney saying this, which is what Marius Girl said. Marius Girl will write $500,000 for Nick Aldis to for the fans and everything, which is for the tickets that are going to be paid for the Crockett Cup. And it says later, basically in the way he accept Nick Aldis offer and everything, and then Marius Girl said something about I think I'll try to remember what Marius Girl said too. Basically, Marius Girl was basically telling Nick Aldis to put his money where his mouth is. Basically, the whole put your money where your mouth is. So let me see if I read this right. He says that if Aldis beats him, he'll write Aldis a check for $500,000. Okay, so there you go. That's all. That's only if Nick Aldis can beat Marius Girl. As far as Marius Girl, I try to remember what was the other stipulation that Marius Girl did. Said something about retains to Nick Aldis if he beats Nick Aldis for the title. But yeah, I apologize. But I apologize, folks, man. I wish I had the full. I wish I had the full notes here for it to for retains this whole thing. But I'm pretty sure also it was covered as well. When they're on the show. In fact, I think they were. I think it was. Um, but then again, I could be wrong. But whatever. But there you go. That was the show, folks. Talking about wrestling. I believe it was 4 matches. No, actually 5 matches. And my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with 6.5 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. For is Natural Born Driller saying peace on the streets. For this is your National Wrestling Alliance review, where it pertains to giving you NWA Powerrr results from February 11th, 2020. Until next time, folks, where it pertains to NWA Powerrr results for the next National Wrestling Alliance review. You all stay well, stay safe, stay in peace. Take care. I'm out. Ta-ta for now.